So you mentioned about Arvind Giguji, and he is a known literature, English literature professor. He has written novels, and he has also written, rather translated Lal Ded, and that book has received national and international recognition. And also that happened when he was almost you were the one who took over Lal Ded, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
went ahead with that and got it published, and you were there very actively participating. How do you put this entire journey, and how do you see Lal Ded being there, coming into being, and getting such a huge recognition?
So this is the book, which came out a few months ago, published by Om Books.
Yes.
Uh, the title is I, a Pot, Desire Home, Lal Ded,
Mm.
Songs of the Naked Poet, an interpretation by Arvind Gigoo. Uh, so Lal Ded is a household name in Kashmir.
Mm.
It's one of the greatest, I think, the greatest saint poetess of
Mm.
Kashmir. Uh, and Not much is known about her life. Whatever is known about her life is all written in just 1 or 2 pages. Because there's not much of not much of documentation. This great uh, 14th century saint poetess.
Yes.
Uh, who- and she left us with these walks. Walk is a Kashmiri word for verse, short verses. And some of those walks are really very popular in Kashmir. So, almost everybody, 6, 7 walks, they happen to be very, very popular and oft quoted for their music, for their beauty, for their wisdom especially. Uh, so my father started, it started as a translation, because
Yes.
uh, I think in 1991, 92, in Udhampur, my father took to sculpting, and then and then he started translating many Kashmiri. One of the reasons for the translation was that Udhampur became this hub of of exile expression, uh, because a lot of Kashmiri Pandit writers, you know, settled in Udhampur,
Mm.
at least 20, 30 very senior, reputed Kashmiri Pandits, mostly from Anantnag and some from Srinagar, who were very well known in Kashmir for their literary works. They were poets, mostly poets, who wrote in Kashmiri. And they settled in Udhampur, not in Jammu and other parts of India. Many of them were actually living in camps. So I think somehow or the other they realized that a day will come, nobody will remember because not many people will read Kashmiri. So it happened maybe a little bit by chance or accident or maybe by design also. They thought my father is the best person to translate. So they approached him and he started translating
Mm.
poetry, and whatever is available these days is self-published, and
Mm.
published privately by these poets.
Mm.
But it kind of you know. Uh, these translations are, I think, giving those poets and their works citizenship in another language, English language.
Mm.
So, and Lal Ded also happened similarly at that time. I think my father started translating Lal Ded, and soon he realized that it's not a translation because you can't translate Lal Ded for various reasons.
Mm. Mm.
You can perhaps only interpret Lal Ded. You can perhaps. Uh, how would it be to render lalwaks, those verses in the English language, which has limitations, and which has profound limitations. And so each of these lalwaks is nothing but 4 lines or 5 lines. There's just 10 or 15 words.
Yes, I've
Uh,
gone through, I've
yeah,
read the entire
yeah.
book.
And these days it's, anyway, these days attention spans are very less, so I think people it's easy for people to just pick up, and you can actually
Mm,
stay with, and each of these lullabies will stay with you. And so I think a time came, my father realized it's point, you will never finish such a work. You will never, you know, uh, every time you look at it, it will lull that will speak to you in different ways. It she helps you discover this whole, unravel this whole mystery. She opens up new paths, right? Fabulous paths. Uh, so I think my initially my father, I think he would have notebooks, and then of course when he got his own laptop, then it became a project, and he would use a laptop. Then I think after years, I said to him, I said, why should we just maybe consider publishing, because himself is a very reputed writer and translator. He said, yeah, of course, we must. But he said, no, I need to do some more work on it, right? So eventually, when his health, he was not in his best of his health towards the last part of his life, in 2022 and 2023. Then I thought, no, I think, you know, uh, those of us who love Lal Ded should get to read this interpretation of my dad's. And it's a very beautiful interpretation. So, of course, the words are English, but the essence is Lal Ded. And my father has written a very interesting translator's note for all the readers who might have difficulty understanding what was the terms when my father started translating. And I wrote an introduction which I talked about my own experience with having seen uh, my father work on it year after year. And it's a beautiful book. It's very relevant these days because I think all of us are driven to you know uh, um, as in, how do I put it, because of we keep on sharing through WhatsApp and Instagram and whatnot. Sometimes we find ourselves drawn towards these quotes, one lines, and we see, okay, there is a line by Ghalib, or there is a line from the Mahabharata, or there is this line from from Rumi, right? And we instantly share, or a line from by any of our favorite philosophers, writers, artists, thinkers, and we share. You know. So the treatment in the book, this book, uh, uh, is for those of us who love such wisdom, such poetry, such music, and such mystery. And it doesn't require one to read a lot of text and text, just a few sentences, sometimes just words, so just one word. So that is the best part about this book, and I hope people discover this book uh, through the ages.